Welcome to the Lost Media Chronicles, a show which discusses various lost movies, music, art, you name it. Happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Americans, and I got a very short, special episode for you guys. Thanksgiving is one of America's most famous holidays. Celebrated every year, we get together with our family, give thanks, and stuff our faces with all the mashed potatoes, turkey, and stuffing money can buy. With the controversial political climate surrounding this year's holiday that will give way to the inevitable heated debates, there's at least one thing that will still bring families together. And of course, I'm talking about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. For the unfamiliar, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is a parade held by Macy's retail department stores every year. High schools and colleges get to show off their marching band skills, Broadway shows its newest musical highlights, famous musicians make appearances, and perhaps most famously, we have giant balloons and floats of classic cartoon characters. The parade got its start in the 1920s when Macy's was much smaller than it is today. Founded by first-generation European immigrants in New York City that were proud of their heritage, they wanted to introduce it to Americans. The first one was held in 1924, and while the parade itself was 2 blocks in length, the march was 3 times as long as it is today, stretching 6 miles. The march ended at Macy's flagship store on 34th Street. There were live animals, balloons, floats, marching bands, and most famously, Santa Claus. The spectators ended up joining in on the fun, marching directly behind the Santa floats. Today, Santa remains one of the long-standing traditions and has appeared in every parade since. Very little footage survives of the early parades. It's not known how much footage was shot, but it's speculated that most of it has been lost to silver nitrate decomposition. What does survive are many photos of parades taken throughout the years. Starting in 1931, they were broadcasted on local radio stations throughout New York, especially upstate. To the best of my knowledge, many of these broadcasts are not widely available, and it's unknown if any recordings survive. Between 1941 and 1945, the parade was postponed due to World War II. In 1948, we had our first televised Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's been televised yearly ever since and became nationally broadcasted by NBC starting in 1952. Despite these broadcasts being widely seen, regular footage of these events is hard to come by until the 1960s and 70s. Full parades are easy to find on YouTube and elsewhere from 1984 onwards, though they may be in varying image qualities. This is probably due to the advent of home media recording. A strange tidbit of sought-after media when it comes to these parades is actually the balloon mishaps. Every now and then a balloon knocks into a tree or lamppost and gets damaged. People like to seek out footage and photos of these happening because, well, they can be hilarious. It should be noted that while these look funny, they can be a safety hazard for the performers and the spectators. There was one instance where people got sick from pneumonia after a balloon splashed water on them because it was raining. In 1997, a woman was struck in the head by a falling lamppost that the Cat in the Hat balloon crashed into, putting her in a coma. Just try to remember these when laughing at these images. As far as other parades that have been lost to time, photos exist and some home movie footage has also been taken. But for such a staple of American culture and history, you'd think they would be more preserved. Unfortunately, just like the Olympics, much of the material remains hard to get a hold of. A lot of non-Americans wonder why this is such a big deal, but there are a few reasons. As I said before, there's the importance it has on American culture. It's one of the most televised traditions in American history. The most important reason, though, is nostalgia. We look back on these old parades and remember where we were, sitting with our family members, some of whom are no longer with us. I have a friend whose grandfather passed away in 1998, and his grandmother still watches the 1997 parade because it's one of the last things she ever did with him. Some of us just like to remember old cartoon character balloons that are no longer part of the lineup. There's even New Yorkers that like to watch old footage that contains the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center and the surrounding area that was damaged after 9/11. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was, for me, a good way of knowing when Christmas was on its way. When I was a kid, I would sit down and watch every parade until I became a teenager. Then I started to bury my face in a Game Boy. But I look back on these parades fondly. If I ever have kids, I know they'll be huddled around the TV watching the parade in the future, and I can't blame them. It's a great way to reel in the holiday season in spirit. Join me next time when I try to find something Christmassy to cover. I don't have that many ideas. Maybe you guys can leave some suggestions in the comments. See you later. Hello guys, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw today, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video if you want to see more just like it. Also be sure to check out some of the other episodes of the Chronicles, as well as my other shows, such as Adventures in Vinyl Land, where I review a bunch of records like a hipster. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.